Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Kashif Booth podcast. If you're new here, each week I sit down with a guest and we discuss their career so far, the highs, the lows, and what's next for them. Today's guest is Darren Yeboah. Darren is a screenwriter and author from London. Welcome to the show, Darren.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
It's good to see you. It's been like a good few years, actually.
It has been, yeah. Probably what, like 2-3 years?
Yeah, I think so.
It's been a while.
Yeah, because we met through Bumblebees. You know, shout out Bumblebees. They really need to sponsor me because, like, I've met so many great people on there. And, you know, Darren is a screenwriter. I'm a screenwriter, producer. And we, connected and networked. And a few years ago, we actually developed a really cool film called What I Wouldn't Do For You, which is what it's now titled. And it's a thriller drama film, I'd say, and it's taken on a life of its own. Now it's actually going to be a feature film.
Oh, is
so
it?
Yeah. So we're developing that. So Darren
nice.
and a bunch of other writers, we kind of developed that in a writer's room in 2019. It's crazy how long ago that was. And now Darren is a producer on that film. So we're just kind of doing that. So Darren, welcome to the show. Thank you
so
again
much
for being a part of that writer's room. What did you think of that whole process, though, like being in a writer's room like that?
It was very unique for me because it was the first time I'd been in a writer's room. So it was really nice to bounce off ideas with the other creatives. And
Cool. So tell us about your journey. How did you get to where you are now as a screenwriter who's actually got a feature film coming out this year?
Okay,
so
brilliant.
Tell us, how did you get started?
Cool. So I've always been creative, since I was young. I started off writing e-novels. So I posted them up online from 2010 to 2012, and I got really good feedback from the readers. They said that it felt like really theatrical. They could see it on screen. So then a light bulb just switched in my head, and I was like, let me try my hand at screenwriting. So I did, and got a few good placements in some schemes, some competitions, but I didn't win any. I just got the placements. So I was like, okay, cool, that's fine. But I just kept going, kept developing my stories, and in 2018, I ended up in the final of the Felix Dexter bursary for the BBC, which was really, really cool. And me and the other finalists, we were invited to the BBC Broadcasting House, and we met Wumi, who we met him, and he had the show on the BBC at the time called Enterprise. So we were all speaking with him, asked him questions. He told us about his journey, how it wasn't easy for him as well, with his background and everything. It was really, really inspiring. So that also helped me to go on. And then the following year we met, and then we developed that story, which is now going to be a feature film. I'm really, really excited about that. That's news to me, so that's brilliant. And following that, I teamed up with one of my friends who had this idea for a TV series based on his experience at uni, but he didn't know how to develop it, like in terms of the story and the characters. So that's when I came in. So I helped him do that, and then we ended up in the semi-finals for a competition called Phil Hub UK Pitch Box, which looks for TV and film projects that are in development for big companies like the BBC, Channel 4, a couple of others as well, to be able to pitch to them. Unfortunately, because we made the semis, we couldn't actively pitch to them.
Okay.
So they could only see like the pitch deck and the script to see if they wanted to move forward. Unfortunately, I hadn't heard anything to do with that, so I just assumed that it was just dead in the water, which, these things happen, so it's fine. And then following from that, I got into, a producer actually from Biz. He contacted me, and he wanted me to help him write and develop the feature film that's going to come out in October called Golden Stripes. And he gave me a 1-page brief. That's all I had. And then I had to construct a 110-page screenplay from that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a task, but I enjoyed it, so it didn't really feel like a chore to me. So so we filmed that over last summer, and a few a few more scenes towards the end of the year because there was quite a bit of like production troubles, as you do. So yeah, it's in post-production now. It gained a UK theatrical distribution, which is really exciting. So the aim is for October because it's still in post at the moment. So yeah, that's that film. I also got 2 sitcoms that are doing the rounds for different UK production companies, which is really exciting. Got an animated series as well that is doing the rounds, that's gaining traction. So yeah, I'm just keeping busy. I'm enjoying the process. I still feel like I have a long way to go in terms of like my goal and what I want to achieve, but I'm definitely enjoying the journey so far.
Wow, well, you gave us a full rundown of
I did,
everything,
yeah.
right to the present. So,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
but that's really good to hear, Darren. I mean, just to see your journey from, from the beginning to where you are now, even when we connected, to see where you are now is great. So tell us about the process of, writing Golden Stripes. So what is it about, and what can you share what it was like to, receive a 1-page brief, right? And then to kind of develop it. How long did it take you to write it, etc.?
So I got the brief. It took me, well, I would say the first draft probably took me about 2.5 months, but the actual full writing process, because writing is rewriting, so that took over a year to do. So that was during 2020, and we're just going backwards and forwards with the idea. So with Golden Stripes, what it's about is about this young Black British kid who ends up at the wrong place at the wrong time. He gets murdered, but then law enforcement, they're not being any help. Their family, they're really struggling to understand why and how this happened. So due to not getting answers, his older sister decides to take matters into her own hands, and then she goes down a deep and dark journey, which effectively changes everybody's lives. So yeah, that's what Golden Stripes is about. So it's quite deep. It's probably the first like hard hitting drama that I've done, because I usually write comedy, like lighthearted stuff, comedy or comedy dramas. So it was very interesting to really dive deep into dark subject matter, but also making it like a cautionary tale sort of thing. But yeah, when everybody sees it, they'll see more of what I'm talking about. So yeah.
So who came up with the original plot and idea? Was it the producer or the director?
It was the director
that
came up with it. So he's the one that gave me the brief, and then I constructed it from there, and then we were going backwards and forwards with ideas, narratives, and yeah, all of that. Yeah.
And what was the director's inspiration behind the idea?
His inspiration was to tell a story that subverted stereotypes. So the boy that got killed had nothing to do with like gangs or drugs or anything. He was actually a painter. He was very, very creative, trying to stay clear from being pigeonholed and typecasted. But unfortunately, his demise is what we've heard like time and time again. So yeah, that was his main inspiration.
Okay. And what attracted you to tell the story, to write the script?
Yeah, to tell a story that subverts stereotypes. That was my main thing. And also a drama that just felt different, because a lot of dramas that have, especially in this country, that have predominantly black casts, they often depict like gang life or like street life, and
microaggressions, and racism.
Yeah, 100%. So I always wanted to tell, I was drawn to tell a story that just shows a different side to us, to show that Black British people, we're not monolithic, we don't all think the same, like we're all different, we're all unique, we're all brilliant. So that's something that I was interested in telling. So yeah.
No, that's really good. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
And what was the process like? Because a director approached you. Does he have he or she? Because I don't know.
Yeah. It's a he. His name is Peace. Peace of Sigbay. Yeah.
When Peace approached you with the idea, did he come with his production company? Did you have to sign, like a confidentiality agreement? What was that whole process like? The legal side of it.
So he didn't come with his production company. He just approached me as himself, and his production company is small, it's independent, it's all independent. So the legality of things, I did sign a confidentiality agreement. I did. And
But did you sign like a contract which, you have ownership to it, or were you just paid to write the script? Like, what was that whole process like?
Cool.
In terms of, because I mean, it's also a business. So I'm assuming that it started off as a collaboration and then went into, get made. So what was that whole process? What was, when he came to you, what was presented to you?
Okay, cool. So he presented me the story. He asked me to write and construct the script, and then he paid me for it.
Okay.
So I don't have ownership over it, which it wasn't like a deal breaker for me. I was just excited to tell the story.
So you got paid for the script and you signed, basically to just write the story and stuff like that. So within the contract, or would you go back, for example, to negotiate? So once it gets into distribution, for you to be able to make some, royalties from this, because essentially it could go on Netflix, it could go on Amazon Prime, it could go on so many platforms. So is that something you thought about, or was that within the deal?
It wasn't within the deal, and I hadn't thought about it. But it's a very, very good. It's a very, very good idea. I actually should have, because often when I write or collaborate, I don't think about the business side. I'm just purely like for the creative side. But yeah, as you said, it is a business, so it's something that I will definitely be speaking to Peace and the team about.
I think you should, because I think as artists, we need to make sure that we protect ourselves. And I'm a writer-producer. I stopped writing for a good few years. That's one of the reasons why we developed that story within that writer's room all those years ago, because I didn't think I was good enough. I lost loads of confidence in my writing. And I did a whole episode on that on my podcast, actually. But when I've worked with writers afterwards, I've been able to make sure that even if I can't pay them and it's a collaboration, we've signed a contract where we both have ownership of the project, because you're coming on board, we're working, we're developing the script, and so whether we take it, we're both going to get money from it. And I think it's about being fair, and also, there's so many demons in this industry. So we need to make sure that like we have a good reputation, and also just I don't want to be like those people, known for those people who are, screwing people over. So, so I definitely think that you should do that, because especially because there's a theatrical release pending to maybe in a couple months. It's definitely something to look at, because last week I had a writer on, and he signed an option agreement with a production company last year and developed a whole pilot for a drama series. Unfortunately, it didn't get picked up, but, everything was tight within it. The production company owned the project for a year, and he was able to just develop that with them to try and get it picked up. So definitely, I think next time, make sure you have all those I's and T's crossed, because yes, you got paid, but it's like, what next? So I think definitely there needs to be some negotiation, something else, because and it's soon. So when you said that it has a distribution deal, like who's the distribution company?
Oh, I've forgotten.
Okay. Because it's interesting, because when I'm thinking about a distribution deal, I would assume that it would have at least maybe more time and planning before it's released. Like to just, because it's still in post, you'd want it to be packaged and ready to go. Like, trailer out, or different versions of the trailer. And then
the trailer is out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the trailer is out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which I'll send to you.
Okay, please do. Okay, but it's just I'm intrigued to see what the next stage is, because when you did shoot it, what was the budget? How did it all come together?
Okay, cool. So the budget, as far as I know, initially it was 20K.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sure that's gone up, because Peace kept mentioning how like extra things had to be added in, so he had to get more of the budget. So it was definitely over 20K, and it was shot over what the initial shooting was 12 days, but I know he shot additional scenes which I weren't there for.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, and who funded it? Did Peace and his production company do
Yeah,
it?
Peace funded all of it.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
amazing.
he funded all of it, yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. Well, please send a trailer. I'm looking forward to seeing it and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
So you said you hadn't written a drama piece before because you're more of a sitcom type writer.
Like comedy,
What was the challenges of writing a drama script? Especially 110 page script. Yeah.
I guess the challenges were to try and minimize or like omit any jokes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one. To really dive deep into the emotional impacts of certain scenes. That was, would I say that was a challenge? Maybe a little bit, telling dark subject matter that I wasn't used to telling. That was a bit of a challenge, but we got it done. So yeah.
So what did you do to kind of get you into that writing mode, to switch off comedy and turn on just drama? Did you do any research? Mm-hmm. Did you watch a lot of other movies or read other screenplays?
Mm-hmm. I got inspired by a lot of real life stories.
Okay.
Real life stories that are along the lines of what the film is about, and a lot of the stories that I read, like news stories, they were pretty dark, they were pretty bleak. So that got me into the mindset of writing this story.
Okay, good. Mm-hmm. Well, as I keep saying, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah,
feature films are no easy feat.
They're really not.
And I think a lot of the time when we're independent in this industry, we tend to do short films, and you get tired of doing short films. You just want to make a feature film, So I have so much respect for people who do it independently with not a huge budget as well, because it takes. Listen, it takes a lot just to do a short film or to do a web series. It takes a lot. So to do on a feature film scale is really, really crazy. So please. Well, good luck with all of it. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Please let me know about the screenings or premiere, whatever.
Oh, we'll do.
I'd like to definitely want to come and watch it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely.
So as a screenwriter, and particularly as a sitcom screenwriter, what is it about sitcoms what you love so much that you like to write those?
I love making people laugh. I like making people just taking people, I guess, on a journey, like escaping from real life and just be able to laugh for 30 minutes or an hour or however long I have you. So I guess that's
And can you tell us a little bit about the two sitcoms you've got with production companies, if you can share? That's the thing, because it's
I can share a little bit. I wish I could share more, but hopefully, if I do get the option, then I can say more.
Yeah.
But so one is a family-based sitcom, like a Black British family.
Is it like the Desmonds, My Wife and Kids kind of vibe?
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, but definitely in the contemporary, like 2020s setting.
Okay.
So and then another one, the second one, is it's like a radio-based story. So I guess when I was initially pitching it around, people would come up with the lazy comparison saying that it reminds them of People Just Do Nothing from BBC, just because it had a radio setting, but it's completely different. I think the comparisons is just that they take place in a radio station, but that's where it ends.
Okay.
But
it would be different, especially if they're Black British.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying,
exactly,
So,
exactly.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. So, as a sitcom lover, what are some of your favorite sitcoms?
I love Desmond's. I really love Desmond's. My Wife and Kids. If we're talking classics, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yes. Do you like the reimagining of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Actually, I haven't seen it.
What?
I haven't seen it. The reason,
Let's end this now. Let's end this now.
I guess the reason why I hadn't seen it is because they said the reimagining was like significantly different, and it's more like drama based, which I kind of appreciate. But yeah, I just haven't. But
well, you
I
need
really
to.
should.
It's great. Okay, this is excellent. What Black American excellence?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it is the same feel you get as Bel-Air, but just in drama form. Like literally that, and it's an hour as well. So yeah, so okay, but yeah. Anyway,
cool.
The other sitcoms you love. So
1-on-1.
oh yeah, classic.
That's Our Raven.
Classic.
Yeah, we're talking British ones.
It's hard.
There wasn't a lot of like Black British sitcoms like back in the day.
All we've had is
Desmond's.
sketch shows like Little Miss Jocelyn.
Little Miss Jocelyn.
Blondes.
Yeah.
What else is there? Yeah, like I mean, there's not really much because that's why we have leaned so much on African American culture, because that's where we saw ourselves represented. You know,
100%.
For me, I love sitcoms too. I mean, that definitely has a huge influence on my writing. Like, you know, from Kenan and Kel to Sister, Moesha, The Parkers, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Martin, 1-on-1, Half and Half, gosh, My Wife and Kids, Girlfriends. Oh yeah. Smart Guy, That's So Raven. What else is there? Like, I could go on. Like, you know, there's and that has definitely been influenced on my writing as well. I always wanted to create like a sitcom, because sitcom was basically like, you know, comedy drama and stuff. And I think I would, as an adult now, and as where my writing is now, I'd want to still make a show like that, but have it more in the Atlanta Insecure vibe. So have the funny part, but then I wouldn't want some laughing track, you know? I'd want to make sure it still has mature themes where people can really relate to it, but also laugh, but then also not relate because it's totally out there, you know, and stuff like that. So I get that.
That's dope.
Do you get any inspiration from films? Because I loved like Bad Boys and Bringing Down the House and so many films like that. Does that inspire or influence your writing as well?
Kind of, but not really. It's more of TV. I'm more of a TV lover, but I do love and appreciate films as well. So yeah, I love Bringing Down the House.
Exactly, and Rush Hour. You know, I get inspiration from a lot of those type of films as well, and that kind of definitely influences my writing and how I like to tell jokes or the beats in between, you know, to kind of get the audience to where I want them to laugh or react in a positive or negative way, because everything is subjective. So it just depends on how they receive it and stuff like that. So, okay, cool. So as a sitcom lover, who are some of your favorite sitcom writers or showrunners?
The showrunner for Desmond's.
Well, Trix Worrell,
that's it. Yeah. And he was around our age as well when he conceived it.
Wow.
So
okay.
That was brilliant. It's quite interesting. He was so young, but he was able to, you know, write all that mature dialogue and those jokes.
I think, you know, in 1989 when the Desmonds came out is very different to 2022. No, I mean, things are similar but different. Does that make sense? So in that kind of time, you were made to kind of grow up quickly and different experiences. You know, a lot of their parents at that stage of their lives were, you know, came over here through Windrush, or he probably was a part of Windrush when he came here, you know. So the experiences and life experiences are just completely different. So it's not surprising as well. So,
100%.
Okay.
Can we say contemporary ones? I guess I'm more...
whoever.
Okay. We've got Issa Rae, Donald Glover, Jamie Demetriou, you know, Statlet's Flats, you know, that sitcom?
No, I've not heard of it.
It's very funny. You should go watch it.
Okay.
Channel 4. Yeah, it's brilliant. He's British. This is so bad. I should have them at the top of my head.
Not necessarily, because sometimes, you know, some filmmakers or writers, they'll just judge on you and be like, oh, how do you not know this and that? It's like, look, I'm not here to be a whiz or the encyclopedia of every damn filmmaker out there. I just like to write and make the film, so that's fine. I mean, as a writer myself, some of my favorite showrunners are Mara Brook Akil.
Yes.
Kenya Barris. Issa Rae, of course. You know, there's Robin Thede, the creator of A Black Lady Sketch Show. There's Ralph Farquhar. He's done like The Proud Family and just everything.
Have you seen the reboot?
Yes.
Did you like it?
I did like the reboot.
Did you?
Yeah. I mean, I get why people probably don't like the reboot, but we're a lot older, so it's targeting a newer audience.
Yeah, newer generation.
So it has the same feel as 2000 sitcom, which I like, but it's also just made it very modern for the younger generation as well. That's how I see it. So,
Okay.
So that's my because I can view it through that lens, but it doesn't beat the OG.
No,
okay?
it doesn't.
Especially the theme song, because that remix now is awful.
It's not doing it. It really
Exactly. Who else is there? I mean, Shonda Rhimes has always been a great one as well.
Okay. Oh, she's more drama though, isn't she?
Yeah, but I do like drama.
Her shows
as well.
are brilliant.
Yeah,
Her shows
exactly.
are brilliant. How to Get Away with Murder, Scandal.
Well, she didn't actually even create that show. It was a guy called Pete Nowak.
Ah, yes. Sorry, my mistake. Yeah,
but a lot of people, because it's under her production company, they kind of mix it up as well.
Yeah.
Who else is there? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think that's it as well for me. Is there any more? No, there isn't. No. Yeah. So those are like some of my favorite screenwriters as well. So yeah. So what else can you share is like going on, like, you know, outside of the feature film and your 2 shows? What else have you got coming up?
Yeah, so while I'm waiting for all of those, I'm looking to do my short film. I'm looking to like get into the directing side.
Oh, nice
stuff. So just raising the funds for that, trying to assemble a team as well, and hopefully we'll be able to start shooting maybe end of the year or top of January. So yeah, it depends on how much I get, which will determine, because there's 2 stories that I'd like to tell, but depending on how much I get will determine which story I'll be able to tell. But that's just a little something on the side, something to keep me proactive while I wait for everything that's happening in the background.
Okay, so what made you want to step into directing?
I think seeing Peace in action when he was directing the film, and just made me think that this is something that I would like to do. I hadn't thought about directing until the first day on set and seeing Peace do his work, and I was like, this honestly looks like something that I could do.
Nice. Well, good luck with it all. Like, I'm looking forward to you know, seeing what you come up with when it comes to directing, because directing, you'll see, is an art form, but it's also very stressful, and you know, so I'm looking forward to seeing what you come up with. So that'd be great.
Thank you so much.
So when you look at today's writing scope, you know, when you look at what's going on within America and the UK, what would you like to see from a Black British writer out there on the TV land? What would you like to see? What kind of writing or show?
Definitely more like inclusivity and diversity. I'd like to see just different forms of Black people, not just the normal. Well, I say normal. What is normal? But I guess the image that is often portrayed, you know, like the gang life, especially in this country, like the gang life, or growing up in council estates, stuff like that. I'd want to see like a different side to us, maybe a family that was privileged, you know, in terms of like their education or just like their life experience, or people from like different sexualities, for example, like seeing them projected. Just different narratives than what we're used to seeing is something that I would definitely like to see.
No, I can relate to exactly what you're saying. I'm always on Twitter complaining because when I look at the representation specifically of Black men, there isn't any diversity in how Black men are portrayed. There's just the same type of person out there, and I can't relate because I'm not the quote unquote typical black man as well. So I want to see myself represented. Like, I don't see myself where I'm able to just live a normal life, dress well, go out, no, it's just like one type of thing. And I think the industry is definitely changing, especially because of the access we have to streaming platforms now, because, Rap Man has his show on Netflix coming out, which is, I think it's like black superheroes
that should
and stuff
be
like that. So it's like, yes, this is what we want. And they're going to be black British. Like, that's what we want to see. So I think we need to see more diversity of black characters. That's what it is. Like, don't just plot black people in there. Actually give us more of a personality,
backstories.
Exactly. As you said, we're not a monolith, and we're not seeing ourselves represented properly. Yes, we want it to be there, but don't just have us as a token black friend, or the person who's like, the cool friend or the sassy black woman. It's just the same kind of thing, and the tropes, and it's like you still see it all the time. And it's like, I said this last week as well to the writer who I interviewed, called James. It's like, when you're watching these shows nowadays, they're making sure that everything is very diverse. So you have the white, the black, the Asian or Latin or mixed race group of friends, right? And it doesn't look authentic or realistic, because realistically, white people, black people, Asian, Latin, they all have like their own group of friends who all look like them. When they do mix, it's because it's definitely a mixture of different cultures, and it's actually an authentic. This just feels, a lot of the time, it just feels like you're just popping everyone in there,
it feels forced.
And then you're not actually building authentic stories. It doesn't look real. It just kind of looks like, okay, tick, tick, tick. And now it's like every show you're watching, one of them definitely is gay, or like one of them is like definitely trans. It's like, yes, we know we all coexist like that, but do it in a realistic way. Make sure that when you're telling the stories, actually make it authentic, and actually what would actually happen within the dynamics of the conversation people are having. You're not seeing that, and it just feels like, these producers or showrunners and networks are just plopping all of these diverse people in one room and then trying to figure it out. And then once they've probably gone back to the execs, it's like, okay, no, you can't do that. It needs to be this, this, this. And that's why you're seeing a repeat of the same thing over and over again, because nobody wants to take that risk. Everyone's doing the same thing. And that's why I say that Jordan Peele did what he did successfully, because they took the risk and just allowed him to have creative freedom. I'm just waiting for that moment where like they just let us tell the stories we want to tell, and you'll see what happens.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So Darren, where can people find you? Your previous work, or to keep updated with your films and stuff like that.
Cool. So like all my socials on everything is my name and surname, Darren Yeboah, DarrenYeboah, which is where you can connect with me. I'm literally on everything. So if you type that up, you'll see me, connect with me, and then you can see my work and everything that's upcoming.
Great. Well, thanks again, Darren, for coming on the show. It was great talking really about writing and sitcoms, because, I love that. So, I think we could have sat here and chatted about that for ages.
100%.
So, please keep me updated with your film. I really want to see it. And, so thanks again, guys, for listening.